Today we're going to look at linking some more words together. Now if we just have a look at an AG, that gives us the word age. If we've got a go, we have an AG, we must write the O because it's sounded at the end of the word. But we can link this together when we get a phrase. So here we've got along, A-L-ong, we've got your disjoint M for time. We can just put the G on and we get an excellent phrase, a long time ago. Might take a little bit of practice just to make sure you use it, but it's a really good phrase. This one here, we've got a number of. So you would have already done number of, a number of times probably, but we can add a little a for a number of. Here we've got as if you were. So if we broke it down, you've got your as if you were. What we're doing is we're missing out that extra little I. So we just have a as if you were. If it was as if we were, notice that the you and the we are different size. You've just got to make sure that you don't get mixed up with that little u and a bigger W for we. This one here says assure you will. So that's a whole word, assure, that's a word, not a short form, but we join to that you will. Assure you will. Common one here you've probably used before, that's at the M in the little disjoint M, half the size for meant, so we've got at the moment. Don't need the O for that one. Here we've got during the, so you would have done during, but instead of going during and having a whole TH for that, we can just reduce it to the H, so we get during that. This is joining an I that you already know to a word, so we've got I believe. So full I, B-L-V, I believe. Two short forms linked together, if they, so a little if, make sure you get the angle right, so if they. If it was if the, we don't need the little E on the end of it, so if the. Interesting one here, we've got have their. Remember you can have two forms of their. We've got their, and we'll often go there will be, using the THR, but you can use just the there for the there. So we've got have there, or you can have there. So just choose the one that's easiest for you. So here we've got is, that, the. We can write it together, is, that, the. Seems a funny combination, but might be one that comes up in your dictation. Right, now this is a ridiculous one. So we have a look at this. This says that they had not. All right, so we don't want to write it like that. So we can put that they, and then we've got a little D for do, and a new thing we can introduce for not is this little hyphen. So instead of going NT or NOT for not, in a phrase you can now use this little not. So let's have a look how it will work on some other combinations. We could have will not be able to. Make sure you've got space either side of the little not. So it's just a choice. If you don't like it, you can still do your not. But not comes up quite a lot in a phrase, so it's just one you might want to have a little play around with. They will not, so they will not. It's nice and easy, it's distinctive, doesn't look like anything else, so it's just an optional extra if you feel like using that. This one here is that this will, so that this. Remember you've got your this slightly slopes, so it's different to just the TH, because we had the these, this, and then we had the those. So we want to distinguish between those THS's. We're coming back now to one of those there words. So that is the shortest way, or one of the shortest way, to go there have been. Or you can go there, you can use your long have and your big been. Or you can go this there, have is just the V and the big B for been. Or you can go the there have and use the whole B for been. So there's a little bit of choices with there. One of the areas, or one thing that we can just have a look at, and you might want to think about it, is if the there is the actual first word in the phrase. So we could have there will be, or there would be, or there should be. So if the word there is the first word in the phrase, you always use the THR. But when it's joined onto another word, like be there, if there, will be there, you might want to adopt just the der if it's the second word and retain the THR if it's the first word in a phrase. There's no right or wrong way. You might want to always go there, like you have for your there have been or there have been. So it's not wrong, but that's just a good way if you wanted to distinguish between there at the start of a phrase or there when it's joined onto another word. You've got that option. That just will help your speed. We now have two examples of really good phrases. The first one is what you should do. The what you'll probably use that quite a lot because it comes up a lot. Should do could be linked or left unlinked, but it makes a really good phrase. So what you should do. You'll find that if you write it up with the dictation that you'll probably phrase a little bit less. But if you are 5 or 6 words behind, when you get to a phrase like this, you can suddenly catch up, and so it takes the pressure off a little bit. The other one we're looking at is will you please. Now remember, please is just that PLS through the line, the PL blend, so will you please. If we were going to go will we please, it would be longer. So make sure you have that little U.